Today we're making the perfect chocolate chip cookie. These tips will work for any recipe you want to use. I'm just using the one on the back of the Toll House chocolate chip package. Make sure you wash your hands before you touch any ingredients. Also make sure you get your thumbs, your wrists, between your fingers, and your fingernails. Like I said, I'm just using the Toll House recipe. You can screenshot it here. You can also find it on their website or on the back of the chocolate chip package. Here's all the equipment I'm using. Again, you can screenshot this list if you need to. It's basic baking equipment. I'm preheating my oven to 350 before I start mixing. I'm going to start off with my softened butter and my 2 sugars. I like to weigh out these ingredients before I put them in the bowl, just in case I spill anything or I overmeasure. The trick to this step is to not only fully incorporate the ingredients, but to make sure it's light, fluffy, and aerated. Aerated just means that there's some air incorporated, which makes it fluffy, so it's pretty self-explanatory there. I always make sure I scrape between steps. Now I'm adding my vanilla and my eggs. I add the eggs one at a time to make sure they are fully incorporated. Make sure you don't overbeat them on this step. As soon as you see that they're incorporated, just stop the machine. A lot of people use hand mixers for cookies. That will work. I just prefer paddles, again, so that way they're not over aerated. Hand mixers are cheaper and they will also work. Like I said, always make sure you scrape between steps. This makes sure that the bottom of the bowl is also getting mixed in. Next is dry ingredients. You can actually just measure these all in the same bowl if you want. I'm doing it half and half, and I'm going to say this a lot to make sure that they're fully incorporated. You can see here that as soon as I see it's fully mixed together, I turn off the mixer. And then I add my second half of flour. This is what your final dough should look like. It's nice and fluffy and it's an even color all around. I'm all for measuring with your heart on the chocolate chips, and as many as you want. You only need to mix these for a few seconds since you're not actually emulsifying anything. I like to use parchment to line my pans. I find that it gives an even bake to the bottom of the cookie, so I just stick it down with some cooking oil. I'm just using a scoop to scoop the cookies. You'll see me roll them in my hands to make sure they're perfectly round before I place them down, and I'm also making sure that they're evenly spaced with enough space to spread out in the oven. Now I'm just pressing them down with my hand. I just want them a little bit flat, kind of like hockey pucks. You don't want to squish them. This just makes sure that your edges aren't brittle and that they're baked super evenly. To make them picture perfect, I like to just stick 2 or 3 chocolate chips right on top at random. This makes sure that you can actually see the chocolate chips when they bake and they're not covered by the dough. They're super pretty when you do this. This is actually my favorite part. I love putting a little bit of salt on top. I think it complements the chocolate so well. I prefer flaked sea salt. I just use kosher salt. In the oven for 5 minutes, and then you're going to rotate them and put them back in for another 3 to 4 minutes. Make sure you check at 3. If you think they could go a little longer, do another minute. Make sure you keep a close eye on them. I like them on the raw side. When they come out, I'm just using a measuring cup to slightly pat them down. This makes sure that they're just super even. This is kind of an aesthetic thing. You don't really have to do this if you don't want to. And that's literally it, the perfect chocolate chip cookie. I hope these tips helped. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave a comment down below what other recipes you want to see. I definitely want to start making more cooking videos soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Everybody hate on me just 'cause I'm fast, though.